Who is Sherlock Holmes, and why is he dying? Let's begin with the history of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is a fictional detective from the late 19th and early 20th century, who first appeared in publication in 1887. He was devised by the British author and physician Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. A brilliant London-based detective, Holmes is famous for his prowess at using logic and astute observation to deduce problems and solve cases.
When I met you for the first time yesterday, I said Afghanistan or Iraq. You looked surprised.
Yes, how did you know?
I didn't know, I saw. Your haircut, the way you hold yourself says military. But your conversation as you entered the room
And my name?
said trained at Bart, so army doctor, obvious. Your face is tanned. But no tan above the wrists. You've been abroad but not sunbathing. Your limp's really bad when you walk, but you don't ask for a chair when you stand like you've forgotten about it. So it's at least partly psychosomatic. That says the original circumstances of the injury were traumatic. Wounded in action then. Wounded in action, suntan, Afghanistan or Iraq.
Over the decade, there has been over 200 official renditions of Sherlock Holmes, played by many famous Hollywood actors such as Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. and so on. Sherlock Holmes is a timeless character, world-renowned for his deductive genius and his sidekick Watson. However, the same old boring format has been dragged through the wash repeatedly and is now becoming bland and predictable. That's why we have decided to invigorate this classic with modern twists for our 2030 version. In Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's original text, Sherlock is a selfless character using his skills in order to help London. However, in the 2010 BBC remake of Sherlock, he solves crimes and puzzles for a sick kind of satisfaction.
Decent. The game, Mrs. Hudson, is on.
And has a large disconnect from other people, including Watson. In our version, Sherlock Holmes is a young male with familiar genius intellect of previous Sherlock Holmes, and a very high ego to match it. It is this ego that may prove to be his fatal flaw, as his newly acquired flatmate and partner, Dr. Gwen Watson, has a similar level of intelligence that may best his. Sherlock's desire to be the smartest person in the room may lead him to go to great lengths to prove his capabilities are superior, maybe even to ruin a case or let a possible suspect go, all in order to protect his fragile ego. New York, New York. There is a reason people write songs about it and not London. Hence the reason we have decided to change the setting of Sherlock from London to New York. New York is often described as a concrete jungle with endless possibilities, excitement lurking around every corner. This is in contrast to London, which has gained a reputation of rainy and dreary weather, and being old and bland. New York as a city poses more possibilities for potential conflicts and problems Sherlock would have to deal with, such as high gang-related violence, a criminal underground to take down, and corruption. As New York is also a technological hub, there will be many more opportunities to showcase the rapidly advancing technology of 2030. It would be easier to do this in New York rather than London. The youth of today are obsessed with everything American, from TV shows to movies to food. As well as that, a large portion of media audiences come from the United States. Setting the TV series in New York would engage the youth of not only just Americans, but the whole world, and they would be able to relate to it as easily as other TV shows and movies they have watched from America. TV analytics have shown that the highest rating TV shows in the US are mystery and crime related, more so than in England. Setting the show in America could potentially gain the show many more viewers. This is why it's an obvious choice to change the setting of the 2010 BBC Sherlock series from London to New York. Sherlock's costuming is a big part of his overall character, as he has many things associated with him, such as iconic magnifying glass. As the setting is in New York, it would look tacky and stupid for him to be wearing his trench coat and deerstalker hat, as the conditions are just not right for it. How can you be sneaky and solve crimes when you stick out like a sore thumb? It is for these reasons that we have decided to revamp Sherlock and give him an entirely new look for the new series, and set of tools. The youth of New York wear a more edgy and clean-cut outfit, as opposed to the late 19th century clothing in London. We decided to fit Sherlock with a puffer jacket, polo top, and chinos, with a hood if needed. His clothes would be topped off with his black and white Vans. This would fit in easily in the New York youth scene, and would protect him from the elements. On top of that, the polo and chinos would give him a level of sophistication that previous Sherlocks had, and some that the modern urban streetwear of today just can't provide. This change in costuming will make our adaptation of Sherlock more realistic, interesting, and relatable to younger audiences. I feel like this is a part of Sherlock that the recent BBC series got wrong, as the clothing was monotone and bland, with no character behind it, and quickly became mundane, seeing everyone dressed in the same old-fashioned clothing. This is why we have decided to change the clothing from the 2010 BBC series.